It's not just the SCOTUS seat filling. It's not just that. They knew. They knew it was going to be a matter of time. This keeps coming up. You never hear anyone at all, anywhere, talk about Ukraine. No one wants to talk about, oh, there's Nazis everywhere. Where? Everywhere in Ukraine? Because everybody knows about that. All the neo ethno national homage to the fascist government, back in World War II, carrying photos, symbology, all this. No, that's not what they're talking about. No, that's not in any way what they're talking about. No. So I've just been loving this now. Just to see everybody just going, I mean, the ape shittery going on right now, and that it's hitting me. It's like, oh, and suddenly Romney is cool. Days ago now, Ukraine announced that it had information and it wanted to it had criminal charges, I believe, for both Bidens, dad and son. So, cold reading. Let's see what's happening. Let us see what's happening, because I'm thinking, at some level, at some point, you're thinking through, okay, this is a big deal. This is a former this is an ex-VP, and, this is big. This is big. Somebody like, I don't know, a Democrat who is getting reports on national security might have known about the torchlight marches and these companies that this American is involved in that are really a little shady. Oh, reaction statement from House Intel Chairman Adam Schiff. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to get fascinating as we have to ask them, so you didn't know anything about this? You knew nothing about this at all. This hasn't affected any of... You weren't making any money on this, right, Adam? Oh, delicious. All right. Hunter Biden raised counterintelligence and extortion concerns. May have participated in sex trafficking from Senate report. So we're reading this from a source that Tim Pool would never touch. Zero Hedge. By Tyler Durden. See, I love having that, like, where it's going to be like, Tim, you worked for Vice. Vice is one of the only places that's covered Ukraine in the totality that it has, such that the reports that it's put out might one day be used as evidence of how the fuck didn't you know about this? And somehow, and then it's just stuff like Fort Russ or Zero Hedge or something like that, where it's like, well, I mean, if you kind of get where they're coming from. No, Tim, stay years behind a story. Stay years behind a fucking story. I can't even believe it. Like, sometimes where it's just like, are you shady or are you really that dense? Like, come on now, bro. He was there. I think he even said, I think he went to Ukraine during, like, the Maidan. So it's one of these things where more and more I'm like, I could have sworn Stranahan had some hang up on the fact that Poole seemed to be in all the right places at the right time, but just can't figure out. This is so crazy, Yeah, I don't know. It's just every once in a while I'm like, come on now, bro. What are you paying attention to? Like, what are you? Yeah. Update, 11:35 Eastern Time. Rep. Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, has responded to the Biden probe, saying that after Trump was impeached, quote, for directing a scheme to extort a foreign partner to announce an investigation into Vice President Joe Biden's son, unquote, that, quote, Trump's most willing allies in Congress quickly took up that mantle and carried out his demand, ellipsis, unquote. Schiff accused the two Senate committee chairs of, quote, promoting the same Russian disinformation, adding, the Kremlin must be very pleased. That's a quote. The California lawmaker notably didn't address any of the core claims in the report because accuracy is right wing. I'm sorry, that's not in the article. That was my own little thing. A long-awaited Senate report on Hunter Biden's financial dealings with Ukrainian, Chinese, and Russian businesses created potential, quote, criminal, financial, counterintelligence, and extortion concerns, unquote, and alarmed U.S. officials who perceived an ethical conflict of interest and flagged potential crimes ranging from sex trafficking to bribery. The findings are contained in a joint report by the GOP-led Senate Homeland and Government Affairs and Senate Finance Committees, released just 6 days before the first presidential debate between Joe Biden and President Trump. Senator Ron Johnson out today. Oh, hence Ron Johnson is a hero. Okay, now I get why that tweet was out there. Out today, report with Chuck Grassley found millions of dollars in questionable financial transactions between Hunter Biden and his associates and foreign individuals, including the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. And so, let's see here. What the? That is such a weird picture. Why did they think? God dang, Democrats are so cringeworthy now. Just so goddamn. There's times where I think about with you younger folks. People had like some decent style, like 10, 15 years ago. Just people looked better. I'm so sorry. God, we're aging so bad. Like Gen X too. Just aging so badly. So ungracefully too. It's just like, just wear some fucking suspenders. Buy trousers. Get trousers so they fit. Jesus. Sagging in like your 50s. Like your DOS effects or something. Anyway. According to the Daily Caller's Chuck Ross, suspicious financial transactions between Hunter Biden's firms and foreign nationals from Russia and China, including CCP-linked Chinese businessman, raised serious concerns. What's more, Hunter's seat on the board of Ukrainian energy giant Burisma, while his father served as the Obama administration point man for Ukraine, worried State Department officials in 2015 and 2016. And taken from Daily Caller, one official, Amos Hochstein, told the Senate Homeland Security and Senate Finance Committees that he said to then Vice President Joe Biden in October 2015 that Hunter Biden's position on the board of Burisma, quote, enabled Russian disinformation efforts and risked undermining U.S. policy in Ukraine. Hunter Biden, now 50, joined Burisma. Wow, he's only 5 years older than me. Joined Burisma's board of directors in April 2014, shortly after his father, Joe Biden, took over as the Obama administration's chief liaison to Ukraine. As Ross notes, while the report does not produce direct evidence of wrongdoing by Hunter Biden, Republicans say the evidence paints a troubling picture of the Biden receiving millions of dollars from foreign sources as a result of business relationships that he built during the period when his father was vice president of the United States and after. Hunter Biden also received a $3.5 million wire transfer from Elena Baturina, Because as everybody knows, I mean, all normal people get wire transfers regularly. I mean, of thousands of dollars. I mean, 3.5 million. That's a little peculiar. The thousands of dollars I'm always getting on the wire transfer. I note it's not like PayPal. This is going into a financial institution. And yeah, and so Elena Baturina, the wife of the former mayor of Moscow, according to the report. And as Just the News, John Solomon writes, perhaps the most explosive revelation was that the U.S. Treasury Department flagged payments collected overseas by Hunter Biden and business partner Devon Archer for possible illicit activities. Taken from Just the News, the so-called suspicious activity reports flagged millions of dollars in transactions. Well, that's funny. Wouldn't that mean that somebody who, say, was in charge of, what was that called? What's that? Oh, yes, House Intelligence Committee. Yeah, wouldn't that mean that the House Intelligence Committee would have seen that? Like a while ago, like when this happened, at first. The so-called suspicious activity reports flagged millions of dollars in transactions. I mean, millions, if just one of those gets shaved off the top so that my eyesight's not so good when I see the report about all these millions coming in. Hunter, you know, bug-eyed Adam Schiff walking away with all that money. But, I mean, that's in the way I'm writing a script for a story very similar, where Adam Schiff would be like Adam, but Schiff would be spelled differently. It would be a different kind of, it would be like something like SHIFT, something like that, Shift. That's a cool name, like Shaft, because that's what he gives you, and then, but Hunter wouldn't, he wouldn't get prosecuted because, Shift would get him, and you'd have like the Columbo moment when everybody figured out, oh my gosh, why did you, do such a thing? You horrible villain. You weird, freak, bug-eyed villain, sexual deviant, traitor. That's how my script would go. This is, much more dry. Let's get back to it. He got millions of dollars in transactions from the Ukrainian gas company Burisma Holdings, a Russian oligarch named Yelena Baturina, and Chinese businessmen with ties to Beijing's communist government, the report said. Senate investigators have yet to determine if the FBI or others investigated the concerns. Just the News. Quote, Treasury records acquired by the chairman show potential criminal activity relating to transactions among and between Hunter Biden, his family, and his associates with Ukrainian, Russian, Kazakh? What? Kazakh? Why does that just make me... What was it? Oh, Uranium One has a bunch of holdings in Kazakhstan. I wonder... Those two probably aren't linked. And Chinese nationals. Read the 87-page report. Other transactions involving Biden-controlled firms were flagged for potential criminal activity, including wire transfers to Hunter's uncle, James Biden. Oh, Jimmy Biden walking away with all the money. The report focuses on millions of dollars in wire payments that Hunter Biden's firm received from Ye Jianming, the founder of CEFC China Energy Company, and Gong Wendong, a U.S.-based associate of Ye's. According to Republicans, Ye has extensive connections to the Chinese government. You would figure that, communist energy firm, come on. The Senate report says that you keep that one close to the vest, you know what I'm saying? The Senate report says that on August 4th, 2017, a subsidiary of Ye's company called CEFC Infrastructure Investment, US LLC, wired $100,000 to Owasco, the Biden law firm. A month later, on September 8th, 2017, Hunter Biden and Gong Wendong applied for a 100,000 line of credit under a shell company they formed called Hudson West the Third, or III LLC 3, Hudson West 3, maybe. Maybe it was at Hudson West 3, that building, so Hudson West 3 LLC. According to the Senate report, Biden, his uncle James, and James's wife, Sarah Biden, accessed the account through credit cards. Oh no. Oh no. Rookie move. That just, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Just that hit me. That's like the gut folder where just you're like waiting like this is like the Columbo, and you're like, and then you did what? And so then I was thinking, maybe I should smoke a little crack before I do the critical part of the crime, of hiding the crime. At first I was smoking up hella rocks, and then I thought, well, maybe I should just not hide the body, I mean, god damn. But, and everybody, this is literally, it's the Lufthansa, it's the moment after the Lufthansa heist. It's the moment they walk in with the furs. The guy's like, what the fuck are you doing? I love it. This is great. Biden, his uncle James, and James's wife, Sarah Biden, accessed the account through credit cards and spent $291,000 on what Republicans call extravagant items, including plane tickets, hotels, restaurants, and items at Apple stores, from Daily Caller. Meanwhile, according to U.S. government records cited in the report, concerns were raised over potential ties to sex and human trafficking rings. Hunter Biden paid non-resident women who were nationals of Russia and other Eastern European countries who appear to be linked to an Eastern European prostitution or human trafficking ring. The report reads, Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee Chairman Ron Johnson. Hold on one second. The recent peace made, Kosovo, Serbia, recognize Israel. Just want to point out, Albanians, Jared Kushner being his little group, so and Italy, the Vatican Bank getting some fucking audited, or some people getting arrested at the Vatican Bank. So basically, everything about this is, imagine if you kind of gave a bunch of cartels an out. Normal war is over, homie. There's drones. And as you see, people can put a fucking disease together in a goddamn phone booth. And any rumor can crush your economy. Do you really want to keep fucking around? Or do we just or is it nationalism, and at a border, the laws fucking change, and if you're the guys we'll let you deal with your fucking cartel. Because we don't want to fuck around with you people anymore. Nobody has the money anymore. Nobody has the money to fake all this anymore. All you cartels have what you have. You have your Lebensraum. Jews, you got your Lebensraum. Kosovars, you got your Lebensraum. All you guys got to stop burning each other's villages down and fucking each other up. And goddamn it, we're going to pull all this shit out of your countries. How's that sound? And there's too many people, of course, who've been making way too much money on America keeping its dick in everything. And then sticking its dick in things and coming back out like, oh my god, my dick, and then fixing our dick for like a generation. If it didn't lop us off at the fucking balls. So I've been wondering about the Kosovars and the Albanian mafia. What's going on with that? What was it about this peace treaty? And then what's going on with us and and that president, that guy Bulgaria, or was it Belarus or Bulgaria, that we finally, I think today, said we just don't recognize Yasiunik, that we're saying no, that guy's not the president. We just aren't even we aren't recognizing the results of the election. I just heard about that. So there's this something about cartels that also I'm trying to also in the background is rolling around here. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot with this. Okay, so Chairman Ron Johnson just told Just the News that the sheer volume of potentially illegal activity in Hunter Biden's foreign dealings left Joe Biden vulnerable to illicit influence or extortion. The report raises serious questions that former Vice President Biden needs to answer. There are simply too many potential conflict of interest, counterintelligence, and extortion threats to ignore, he said. The Biden campaign has called the Senate report an effort to, quote, subsidize a foreign attack against the sovereignty of our elections with taxpayer dollars, unquote, and push a long disproven hardcore right-wing conspiracy. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, Biden's media defenders are hard at work today. Oh, and it's a whole list. Oh, and Ryan Saavedra, there's a list compiled by Ryan Saavedra of all the people running fucking circles. And so all of this, Biden had to have known. He had to have known about the Banderites. Schiff has to have known about the Banderites. How did Vice News do a multi-part piece on neo-Nazi youth camps in a country that we were helping, and we were helping neo-Nazis? They knew this. The funding to Ukraine, it got held up because of neo-Nazis. We arrested people and prosecuted them for being in Ukraine as neo-Nazis toting around guns, possibly kicking people out of their houses so that people like Hunter Biden could bring in foreign firms to frack the land. That's so far what we kind of understand was the plan. That's how fucking bad these guys. This is what was going. These are the kind of people Obama was all about. We're supposed to just believe Obama was this really awesome dude who, though raised on Paradise Island, when he wasn't living in Indonesia, hearing Muslim prayer and stuff, like most Americans, like most normal people who just know what a corner store is and stuff, and eat Twinkies and chocolate milk and stuff like that. It's like, poi, pog, the taro root, that taro root that you're raised on. So, and all the mutton you're raised on. So, I'm just loving this now. Democrats now have really, like, this is the big deal. Normal people who are Democrats. You are normal people. You know that there's mashed potatoes, and then there's mashed potatoes with butter and garlic. And that's dank. And you know what the word dank is. See, these people don't, they might not know what the word dank is, but they definitely know who can get probably a shipload of it. So you have to understand they're playing a different game. And they're playing it for themselves. And you just need to accept that you have this guy who is in private business, and all these people who never had to sit there and possibly lose it all, like you have. Trump's been bankrupted. He's been bankrupt. Now, how he came back out of it, that's its own thing. It's not like people on the right are like, oh, this guy's the most trustworthy dude ever. No, we know that his thing is he likes money. He likes gold. He likes things that are gold. He likes things that are fancy. He's a germaphobe. He really, really, really doesn't like dirt. He's inordinately clean. It's really weird. It's to the point where it's weird. There's no creases in anything. There's no creases in anything. That's weird. and he likes long-legged women from Eastern Europe. That's his type. He likes a certain type. There's all these things you could tell, and when you have this thing of, oh, I met enough different kinds of men to kind of get a sense of a man from what he's done in his years of appearances in television and constantly trying to advertise himself. That it's like, yeah, of course the guy's kind of a bullshitter. He sells hotel rooms. Like he's selling you maybe a weekend of luxury. It's you who's buying. You know, he's a player and he's playing just for you. He needs to sell it, or else he goes down being the guy who promised a product or promised a service and didn't provide. That's how his brain works. Cold sales at the end of it all. Results. He's not based around, this program is going to go on for a decade and all my friends are going to get fucking rich working for it. It's going to take us 40 years to straighten out the schools. And all my friends are going to retire off of that fucking scam because these people are marks and they won't teach their own children because they believe that they need to be all at work and a busy businesswoman doing business, you know, and while her husband is away doing busy business stuff too. And it's like, how about you hang out with your own children and teach them exactly what you think they should know, instead of being mad about what they don't know when they're burning down a city and voting for a guy who apparently, one of these reports is, he liked having dildos used on him by strippers. God damn, this is going to be so humiliating because this is just the beginning. Papadopoulos even said this today. This is just the beginning. And it is. Because there's too much Adam Schiff had to know. He had to have. He had to have known about the neo-Nazis. The Simon Wiesenthal Center knew about it. How did Adam Schiff and how did fucking Biden not know that they... And then he's involved in all this business with people who might be neo-Nazis going after Jews, Greeks, and ethnic Russians. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. With torchlight marches at least twice a year. At least. So, no. These guys, this is going to be beautiful. And the fact that the Democrats have slept on this, the fact that nobody will touch it, it means that there's some Republicans who are probably still in office, that they're going to get hooked into this. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was Romney. I at this point, I'm like, Romney, did you make a deal? Did they finally say to you, they go, Mitt, you're not going to like what's going to be in this report. You're going to fucking vote the way we want you to, Mitt. And maybe we won't take all of your shit, Mitt. You know, maybe we won't seize all of your fucking shit. You know, maybe we'll let your legacy kind of survive in some way. You gotta kind of go out. Can't go out like this, Mitt. If you side with us, it won't be half as bad. At least you went down as a team player. You know? Yeah. Because he's tied into finance. He's a financial gangster. He's a part of the cartelites and stuff. And so it's just, I'm very interested in seeing how he ties into this in the long run. Okay, that's more than enough. All right, later.